up, YouTube? So I'm here with Tony again. If you remember, Tony, he brought out his Supra and we did the little interview with his Supra and his future plan for it. Now, at the end of that video, if you remembered, we had a to be continued and it showed his other machine, his Eagle Talon. And you know, it's quite interesting vehicle. He does a lot of track days with it, and he's going to tell us a little bit about this vehicle right here. Tony, thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. Anytime, anytime. Yeah, so we've got a 1990 Eagle Talon TSI all-wheel drive, you know, the whole package. And I bought this car about 5 years ago. It was all stock, you know, there was absolutely nothing done with it. Okay. You know, and it took a long time to find one like this, you know, it really did.
So, for the stock, how much car did the stock have?
The stock ones make about, if I remember correctly, 190 or something like that. You know, it was something right around the neighborhood, it was just under 200.
So, under 200 horsepower for the stock. And then now, what is it turning in?
So, right now, with the current state, it's down, it's anywhere between about 350 to about 550 to the wheels.
It just need a 520.
Right. It's yeah, it's just the control via electronic boost controller, the boost levels, and depending on which track where we're at, like I vary the boost levels based on the track.
That's pretty interesting.
So we're running about like today we're running about. Got some nice race car background noise.
Yeah, we're at the track, so you know, a lot of noise going on, a lot of background noise.
So today we're doing about 22 PSI, and that's good enough for right about. That's good enough for right about. I want to say between like 350, 400. You know, so I haven't dynoed the car at 20 PSI. You know, and then we vary it all the way up to 32 PSI. You know, where the car makes low 500s at the wheel.
Oh, nice. Engine. So this engine.
Yeah.
So we had a car that just sounded pretty sketchy coming around the corner. So the engine in this car, it's pretty much the same engine as the previous generation Egos. It's a 4G63. You know, a lot of folks use the Eagle Talons on the drag strip because they put down crazy power.
Yeah, they're very stout engines, very strong engines, and like most of the people like just drag them, you know, mainly because of reliability issues as well. Like, I mean, it's a 30-year-old car, you know what I mean, and a 30-year-old car is not going to be reliable, you know. Okay, so where do we leave off again? How do we start this thing? How do we restart this thing?
So I'm back here with Tony again. We were at the track, but it got a little bit too loud, and so we just picked it up at his shop. Tony Motive Performance in Glenview. You know, you guys are free to check it out. Nice place, does good work. So yeah, we're talking about his Talon and what he's done to it, the amount of power that it's putting down. So Tony, I know you said you are. Actually, walk me through the power gain with this again.
Yeah, so just to recap, we were just talking about it. You know, so basically we vary it anywhere between 20 psi up to about 32 psi, and with the power varies from about 350 to roughly about 500. You know, is what I'm.
And that's stock internal, right?
It is stockish internal. So I mean, it's a pretty simple build in the DSM world. So
yeah.
It's a stock block, you know, with 2G high compression pistons. You know,
okay.
So the pistons are from a second generation. I'm running the 1990 rods, which were a little bit bigger and a little bit beefier, you know, than the 2G pistons, than the 2G rods. I mean, so it's pretty much the strongest stock, you know, bottom end that you can get on the car. You know, and so that's why it's something like this, you know, like pushing, you know, like 500, 600. You know, it's not. I mean, you know.
And how long have you been tracking this car?
I've been tracking it pretty aggressively for about 2 years now, doing road racing.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I did about 3 years prior to that of autocross, constant autocross.
5 years tracking the car, you know, no problems.
I haven't had any problems, but I mean, we do a lot of maintenance on the car, you know.
Which is important. I mean, any car you have to maintain it if you're gonna do any form of racing at all. You
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
Everything has been redone from the front to the back of the car. There's not a single bolt that hasn't been, touched, as to say.
Yeah.
And also every 2 years, we take over the winter, we pull the motor and the transmission out, and we replace all the wearable components. We replace all the bearings in the transmission. We replace all the bearings in the motor. All the seals. Everything else. I've been setting quite a few records. In my class. So we're pretty competitive. And we get a lot of recognition from some people at the track, because they don't expect a 30-year-old DSM, to be running
no
at a
one
road
expects
course.
the talent to be doing great. I feel like a lot of people, they put these on the drag strip, just send it straight, but you're doing something a little bit different.
Something a little different, yeah. Why not? Why not? Yeah. So we have quite a few lap records, from multiple clubs that we're running in.
I see you have a lot of customization to the car. Do you have anything else you plan to do to it?
So currently the big thing right now that we're actually working on, and the reason why the car's in the shop, the car is getting a little light in the rear end, upon high speeds. So it's because the car is very front heavy, and there's just everything inside is cluttered. The car weighs 2650 without me in it. Without me in it, the car weighs 26.
That's a light car.
Yeah, it's a pretty light car for a DSM, for an all-wheel drive DSM. Everything that could be removed is removed. And so the rear end of the car gets really light upon high speed, and especially high-speed braking. When we're coming down from 130 miles an hour, slowing down for a sharp turn, and so on and so forth. And right now the car's in the shop, so we can do an aero upgrade on it. So we're currently working on mounting a wing in the back, and we're gonna make a custom splitter, and everything is custom, just because nobody makes anything for this car anymore, So that's future plans, we'll see. Every tenth counts, every tenth of a second counts at the track. So that's what we're going after.
So every mod you do is for either better time or more power. And don't do mods that don't add any value to the car. And stickers do not add power.
That's the fuck they do. That's the fuck they do.
Yeah, man.
So Tony, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, man.
Absolutely.
I really like the car. First we did the Supra, now we're going to town, and he has a big build coming with the Supra, so stay tuned for that. And I'm going to come back to Chicago just for that again.
Absolutely.
I hope I can go for a ride in it again.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll try to videotape as much as I can, on my own.
Or I might come in. If you're gonna do something, just let me know.
Absolutely.
I'm a free man as of now.
You'll bring the whole camera crew and everything else. Sounds good to me. Let's do it. So, Okay, time out. I'll be right back.
Time out.
What's up?
This is what happens when you have Tony.
We have a big audience, so you guys, you know what? Like when we make a joke, like we clap like behind us or something.
We're in the blooper scene where we everything up. Let's go.
You ready? How does my hair look? Why are you laughing?
I don't know, that face you made. You're just like. Alright, yeah.
Alright, so we're back again here. I guess this is Tony.
No, don't be like, I guess. Like, it's like go with it.
We're back again with Tony. We left off at the track. It got a little bit too loud there. So now we're at his shop in Glenview, Tony Motive Performance. And he's going to tell us what kind of mods he has done to the Eagle Challenge. What's going on, Tony?
What's up, Aiden?
Did you forget my name?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. It's been a while. So, as far as the mods go for this paint, it's pretty dope, man. We have like a long list of mods. Like there's like this thing, this paint and everything. It's one of a kind because it's red, if you couldn't tell, and it's unique in the way that it is scratched and everything. So it makes it one of a kind. Then if you come a little bit back into the engine bay, we got like these red metal things, which are pretty dope. They connect to this red thing, which is also pretty dope.
And that's also red.
Yeah, that's also red. which is pretty impressive. They got the red battery back there, and then like, if you come up here to like this thing, this, I don't know, the fucking,
Hey!
the fuel, oh shit!
What are you doing with my car, man? What are you doing?
Oh,
What's
Tony.
going on?
Hey, how you doing? I thought I came to the shop and this guy said he was you, so.
Hey guys, it was Tony.
Hey man, come on, why you gotta push me like that?
Did you get that?
I think I got the abuse on camera.
Oh, and the chair was red, if you didn't see that.
Of course. Alright, Aiden. It's been fun, man. Take it easy.
Yes, thanks, brother.
What do you think of that?
That was great.